Hi guys, my name is KP Balan. Some of you guys know me from before the videos that I've created for my group. Nice to see you guys again. And for others out there, today I have talking about references and guidelines, but I do have other videos on about AMC exams and my personal experiences about the journey. So do check them out. Now, I know I've taken a bit of a break, so I'm back again. I do have a couple of ideas for new videos, and if you guys have more ideas, do PM me. I'm more than happy to see if I can make some videos and help you guys along in your journey. Now, let's see what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about references and guidelines. Now, there's a lot of guidelines and references out there, and it's very important to see which ones we need to use. Now, I can't stress, we're in Australia, so we have to use Australian guidelines. The US guidelines don't really apply, especially for our exams. And all the guidelines and the methods of practice that we had back in our country also cannot really translate into the Australian guidelines. And I personally know this because during my exam prep, I faced a lot of this. And also when I practice here in the hospital, I do realize the differences that I come across. So it's both a personal experience that I'm sharing with you guys. Now, I do like to, before we continue to each subject wise, I would like to talk to you about a couple of subscribed guidelines that are really good, the gold standard ones that we do use here, and that is the ETG, Up to Date, and AMH. Now these guys are gold standard, and they are they are on the expensive side of things, but if you can afford them, it's amazing. Now the ETG and the AMH do come as a book, so if you like hard copies, that is amazing, and you can always buy one, and it's amazing to have as well for the references while you progress in your career. So that is a good system. That is a good guidelines and things that you can follow that will help you. Now, apart from that, there are a couple of other ones that I like to tell you to be careful, be wary of. Are not really totally bad references, but again, be wary of because they are the American guidelines, and that is PubMed, the Medscape, and WebMD, and also the American Family Physician ones. These are all American guidelines and they don't really translate into the Australian practice. So please be careful as to which guideline you're following and how you're progressing in your management investigations. And I like to stress though, you don't need a subscribed or subscription based app or guideline resource to pass the exam. Okay, and I'm going to talk about that a lot more in the next slides as we come across. And before I do progress, I'd like to talk to you about John Murtaugh textbook. That's an amazing textbook. Follow that, and you've always been following. Just keep following it. All right. Now, progressing on, we're going to talk about physical examination. Now, what is physical examination? These two are the perfect links that I love to use, and Geeky Medics is amazing. They're free. They are quite lengthy, so concise it to the test that you want, and they do give they do tell you why they do the particular test, so that's good. Physiopedia is an amazing website if you want to know how you do the particular special test. All right, moving on, we have medicine and surgery. Medicine and surgery is so vast and it's so important to know. And I personally like my RACGP guidelines because they have flow charts, they tell you what to do in a GP setting and what to watch out for. Apart from that, you have medication, NPS. NPS is amazing, it's free, and it's easily available, so do check it out. Dermatology is DermNet. Now, this is a New Zealand website, but again, they use Australian guidelines, and it's really good pictures to compare and understand the disease itself. Apart from the orthopedics, OrthoBullets. Dude, it's concise, it's to the point, and you just know where to look at and what tests to do. And people who love a hard copy, Oxford Book of Medicine and Surgery is a good one. All right, moving on. We have emergency medicine, very important. You cannot miss those life-threatening conditions and how they look and what they look like. So you have emergencies. So Life in the Fast Lane is the holy Bible for me, particularly. And I work as an ED Reg, so I love the book. It tells you why, it tells you where, and the person who wrote it is an ED physician, so it's amazing. ECG waves. This is a website I even use right now, not just when I was studying for my exam, but even now when I practice. So please do refer to it and know your basics. ECGs are so important. You cannot miss your ECGs, all right? Moving on, imaging, Radiopedia. it gives you good images, and it gives you what words and technicalities to use, and it gives you the images as well, so you're not in the blind and you don't know, you know what you're looking for as well. Okay, last but not least, the on-call book. I know all of you guys have heard of this book. It's an amazing book. It's a hard copy book and it's amazing. So do check it out. If you like hard copies, that is a book to buy. All right, and you don't need to buy all these books. You may be able to borrow it from a friend who's done his or her exams. The on-call book is a book that I still use while I practice. Okay, moving on. Now you have pediatrics, the ever so famous kiddies. So pediatrics have two main guidelines. It's the PCH and the RCH guidelines. The PCH is very good for its flow charts, and but not, it doesn't have all the topics, but RCH covers those in return. PCH also has a dose for the kids as well. Now the PCH guidelines, I particularly like it because it is what they follow my ED, and I personally love it as well. RCH is good because they do have like a parent information form which kind of breaks down the medical jargon and talks in simple language for the parents. So that's really good to have. And mother and child is so important that you get, the parents don't feel overwhelmed, and that counseling is very important. So do check both of the websites out because they're very important. And this is the guidelines that we use in Australia in the hospitals. Now moving on, you have O and G. Now very confusing at times, very important. And my personal favorite is the King Eddies. It's nice and purple, good to look at, and also got very concise, to the point answers, and pretty much covers every single topic and complications. So I personally love it, and Essay Health as well. These two are my personal favorite. If you guys out there have any other websites, RSAGP does cover a couple of the obstetric complications, so you can still refer to those. But these two are my personal favorite. And if you have any other favorite ones, please do comment on the comment section and let me know which ones they are. I mean, it's going to help a lot of you guys out there throughout your journey. So, and you can personally PM me as well if you don't want to post it down below, and I'll be more than happy to hear what you guys have to say. So this is my two personal favorite. Moving on, and last but not least, psychiatry. I don't know about you guys, I didn't have much of personal experience in psychiatry when I moved to Australia. I just had like a 2-week rotation in medicine and got 2 questions in my final exam. And then I came here and I did an observership in psychiatry, which was amazing and very helpful, and I highly recommend it because you really need to know what you're dealing with. There is a lot of psychiatry involved in your practice day to day while you're practicing in Australia, and mental health is very important. So this is my personal favorite that I refer to because they're very concise. They are a bit lengthy, but you can get to the point, and they tell you what are the managements and everything, to quite detailed. Helps me understand it a little better. But if you guys are out there have any other books, I know the Oxford has a psychiatry as well, which is also an amazing book. I know I haven't included in here, but that's another one. And yeah, so Beyond Blue for depression and all those conditions. So yeah, so do check other websites out, but make sure that they're Australian. And if you have any other questions or any other topics that you'd like to cover, that you might like me to make a video for and like help you guys out with, I'm more than happy to do that. If you guys have any other websites or anything that you use and that would help other people, please do put in the comment section. I mean, we're all in this together, and it goes a long way. I had a lot of good people that helped me out, and I can't thank them enough. Oh, anyway, I'm not going to make this too lengthy. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and please stay tuned for more videos on my group. Bye.